I have come here to bury the last remnant of the Cold War in the Americas.
Calling for change and freedom, the president spoke before a packed house at Cuba's National Theater. The speech was broadcast live on Cuban state TV, and Cubans tuned in. In Old Havana, I met 44-year-old Alexi, who invited me in to watch a part of it.
Creo que están dispuestos a hacer cambios, pero sin presiones.
He says the government is willing to change, but without pressure. One change, the president said, is more internet access. And at this hotspot, Cubans who logged on agree.
Es un gran avance para el pueblo cubano porque...
It's an advance. He says an advance for the Cuban people, what the president said. Why? ¿Por qué?
Porque van a venir nuevos avances, desarrollo, todo lo que un cubano quiere.
He said it'll be good for the country, for the development of the country and the future.
There are people here who have been detained, some in the past, some very recently. As I have said consistently, part of our policy with respect to engagement with Cuba is not simply me meeting with President Castro or government-to-government relations.
After the speech, the president met with dissidents, calling for an end to unnecessary detentions. 2 days after members of the group Ladies in White were hauled away following a raucous protest and confrontation with pro-government demonstrators, Mr. Obama said all voices need to be heard in Cuba, including, he said, those of Cuban Americans who have left the island but maintain their ties to it.
All of the individuals around this table have shown extraordinary courage. They have spoken out on behalf of the issues that they care deeply about. Some of them represent specific constituencies inside of Cuba. Some of them have broader concerns regarding democracy.
All right, I'm joined right now by my colleague Rudabeh Shabazi, who's been covering this historic event with me for the last few days. And Rudabeh, the president said that this speech was aimed not only at Cubans here on the island, but also Cuban Americans, and he really included Cuban Americans in Miami during that speech.
He did, and he said that he understands this complicated and troubled history between the exile community in the United States and the Cubans here on the island, but that he said it's now time to move forward. He said he thinks the embargo is only hurting people on the island and that it's time for a new path forward.
And he also said that Cuban Americans, given the opportunity, they have individual freedoms. Look how they have succeeded. And he said that he's known Cuban Americans in the United States for years and always been impressed by what they've been able to accomplish, but also impressed by what Cubans have been able to accomplish here on the island. Now, the president also met with those dissidents, and we should mention, Rudabeh, that there was some, or not, Berta Soler, the head of the group Ladies in White. We reported yesterday that she had been detained on Sunday. She was on the official list that was put out by the White House of the 13 dissidents that met with President Eliott, Sanchez, and others who don't have a voice in this island. They don't get any attention, but the president talked about them during the met with them individually.
And then he took in some baseball. The Cuban national team playing the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays won 4-1, in case we are wondering. But this is a classic example of person-to-person contact, right? These people coming to the island, getting to interact with each other, playing sports. This is a type of diplomacy in itself, and we saw some high-profile Americans here on the island, too.
We saw Derek Jeter, and there have been many others. I know the Miami Marlins have a presence here. The is here. Baseball would like nothing more than to tap into the enormous talent. And Rudabeh, I was here in 1999 when the Baltimore Orioles played the Cuban national team. The Orioles won that game 3-2. Again, the United States is winning, but the president's hope is that the Cuban people are winners as a result of these closer ties between the United States and Cuba.
That's right, Eliott, and we will send it back to Rick and Lauren now.
All right, Rudabeh and Eliott, thank you so much. Live from Havana.